How's it going, Sha?
It's not that bad. Business as usual. I want there to be change in my life, but I'm not really being proactive. So I'm practicing a thing where I answer the question and I give too much of a truth. And then I
Okay.
pull back like, so that people are left like, what? Why did you tell me all of that? It's it's working well.
I like it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna mix
Yeah.
that in now, You've inspired
Just
me.
yeah, you're like, oh, great. This is a conversation. Oh, wait, no, she's saying, oh, nope, we're back at a conversation again. Yeah, just switch it up a little bit.
Why not? I like doing stuff like that on like elevators. Like just leaving people with.
Leaving people like, what just happened? Yeah, that is funny. That is
Yeah.
funny.
What are some of the things you would like to work on but are not working on?
Oh, you name it. Uh, just it sounds so dire, but I'm not even like uh if I said something like living life, that sounds like what the fuck do you do? That's not it. I'm doing plenty. I go to a concert or two, actually too many. I've gone to quite a few concerts, or now I'm trying to catch some art shows, but basically I'm chasing something that will make me feel. See? And again, that sounds terrible. Like you're not feeling anything? Nah, I feel things, or I know I'm supposed to feel things. But I'm looking for a moment that will make me uncontrollably laugh or cry. And I haven't had those moments in a while. And I'm just like, maybe it'll be here in this museum. No, just art. Okay. Maybe I'll watch this thing. Nope. Just okay. And then so I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I am I think it's part of the midlife crisisy thing. Do you know what I mean? You get older and you're like, I'm missing something. I
Ah.
think I'm missing something, and I gotta do something to feel alive again. And then you insert whatever the terrible thing is here that people do to try to feel alive again, right? So what is that? Buy a fancy car,
Yeah.
or start playing a sport maybe that you're like, no, you're way too old for that. Leave your family, all these things that Hollywood has thrown at us of like, here's what you do. Here's what they don't tell you. First, they tell you that middle age is like 50 or something, 50, 60. They keep having people in Hollywood just like, they're middle age and they're like 58. And I'm like, how long did we think they were gonna? And then, so what they don't tell you is that it's actually like late 30s, right? So
Yeah.
that's the first time you start feeling that way. So in my late 30s, I started comedy. So I already had my midlife crisis. So now I'm 14 years into that. It's time for another crisis. It's time for another crisis. They'll tell you there's going to be another one. There's going to be another crisis. Because if you keep getting older, until you are fully okay with yourself, it's still just going to be crisis after crisis. And I kind of feel like that's bullshit. That's what
Oh
they
my
that's,
God. What are
that's
you
what they
planning
don't
on
tell you.
pivoting to, Sha?
I don't know. That's the thing.
I,
That's the
I
thing.
I don't know why, but like I would be like really excited to see your next art if just because like it could be equally like related and also disconnected, and I would believe them just the same. Like if you'd be like, yeah, like I'm really getting into like script writing, I'm writing a new pilot,
Right.
or if you were like, yeah, I'm really into like finger painting, you know, uh,
Yeah, both are believable.
yeah, I'm like, yo, I'm here for both. I could see equal ways of each of those.
Well,
Um,
here's I think what my issue is. And who knows, maybe I'll make all of this. Maybe all of this will end up in a set somewhere. But my issue is I didn't do the things that you were quote supposed to do, end quote. So
okay,
I didn't get married. I didn't start a family. I didn't do all the things that you feel like later you kind of want to pull away from and rebel from because you know what I mean?
yeah,
So what am I rebelling against except the freedom that I've already had? which means I'm going to rebel a bunch. You know what I mean? Because I never settled into a thing. Like
Yeah.
when I finally was able to work one job, when I didn't need to work a second job at night and on the weekend, when I worked one job, I did 1 year of working just this job. Oh, wait, actually, I didn't even make it a full year. I didn't even make
Okay.
it a full year of working just this job. And like 9 months in, I fucking started comedy. See, I couldn't even, I'm like, because I literally would sit there just like, what do people do on the weekend? What do they do?
Just hang out, sit at
Just
home.
yeah, just you hang out with your friend. And I'm like, I don't know about that. And I have the same broke boyfriend, so they working on weekends too. I'm like, oh well, we all okay. So I got to figure something out. And I started doing comedy. So I don't even have like I no one can be mad at me. It's not like you're leaving your children home alone while you gallivant off in the street. No, I'm leaving a dog. I'm leaving a dog. And I heard about it when I got home. I said every time I got home late, she was like, "Roar, roar, roar." And I'm like, I know,
They miss you.
like, yeah. So what about, yeah. So I don't even know what I'm rebelling against or why I even have that urge.
Ah,
And yet I am still just like, I gotta do something. I gotta figure something out. But I didn't even figure out the stuff that you were supposed to figure out. So now I'm trying to figure out something on top of things that I never figured out. And I don't know where that leads me. Just
yo.
on a quest, on a never ending quest that I don't even like to quest.
Who do you have anyone else like going through similar that you talk to?
I don't know everyone. Maybe they're going through it. I do have some friends, but they also I don't know if they're going through like the same thing. They seem to be pretty happy in what the situations they have, and I'm not unhappy. And that's the
Yeah,
thing. It's not that I'm unhappy. It's that I feel like it's hard to explain. Part of me wants to feel like there's something more. There's something else I'm supposed to be doing. Part of
right.
me is like, girl, if you don't sit your ass down on this couch and watch all these streaming services that you pay for, that's what you're supposed to be doing, enjoying this. Do
Amen.
this. But I'm like, but I haven't done enough of what I did, what you should do in order to be. I don't want to be someone who's just like, I know every new thing on Netflix. I kind of like being dumb about some of it, you
Right.
know? But and part of me is like, I want to make the stuff that
Yeah.
is on that. But then part of me is like, well, how are you going to do that? You know, you lazy, right? And I'm like, I don't want to listen to you anymore. Quit telling me I'm late. So there's a lot, as you can see, there are different. It's a real Herman's head situation in there. They are all fighting all the time.
But I want you
Ah.
to know I am rooting for voices 2, 4, and 7. Uh,
All I need is a scoreboard of voices.
oh man. Yeah, I feel that heavily.
Hmm.
When you've come to a conclusion, text me. I'd love to
All
hear
right.
about it. You
Okay.
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm constantly trying to figure out like what's next.
Hmm.
Um, I
Yeah, and maybe that's just the nature of the job is that it is a what's next? What are you gonna do next? That kind of thing. And sometimes you have an answer and sometimes you don't. But
mm,
people always want you to have an answer. And I don't feel like right now I have an answer. I just have like an idea, a couple of ideas. Well, here's the thing I'd like to do, but I don't know. And I know I'm also holding me back and like, I don't know if it's ready and blah, blah. Who cares?
yeah.
There are lots of shit is being floated out there. And I don't, when I watch it, I'm like, I don't know if this was ready. So,
Yeah, I ain't finished cooking this. Word.
yeah, right. So then who am I trying to impress? Whatever version of me is out there, that person's going to be hard on me no matter what. I'm hard on me no matter what. So, I should just blah and do it. But, ugh.
Yeah, I've been giving myself more freedom for that because
Mm,
like for example, I've been in like the last like 2 weeks. I've been in different spaces where, for whatever random luck, I've bumped into someone or a celebrity who whose work I liked, enjoyed,
Mhm.
and there was someone I looked up to, but someone that I knew probably like 2 decades ago or like 15 years ago, right? Like
Mhm.
it was when I was like a young teen or something. And I noticed that uh in these spaces where they were at, there'd be 50 to 200 people, and consistently I was the only person that noticed they were there.
Mm.
Like there was a level of like autonomy that they got back, that like I always stress to myself of like, yo, what are people thinking if they don't like this thing I make? Or if they do like this thing I make, I have new pressure of making a better thing than that. And I think that's there for a pocket of time, and then it goes away again. Like you're back to, like, for example, my son knows Nas as like an idea. Like Nas is my favorite rapper, whereas to him,
Mhm.
like, oh, that's a guy that raps that my dad listens to,
Right.
and like these, to me, the GOAT, and yet literally 30 years later, in the same like neighborhood the guy's from, he could probably like come to the corner store and my son would not like know who he is. It would like he has full freedom almost back again outside
Mhm.
from our demo, like our age bracket. So I'm like, yeah, I could do whatever the hell I could, be cool, try my best to make cool shit. And hopefully people dig it and like it. And if they do or don't, I'm gonna get forgotten again in like 20. Why am I stressing it so much?
Right.
Let me enjoy that. And I'm also one, like you said something that like I'm curious if it's a personality type thing, because we're both creatives. You said that your friends, when you see them, and let me know if I'm like misunderstanding, they seem
Mhm.
happy.
Right.
I'm wondering if like I have like 4 to 5 friends that like are really like my core people, and
Mhm.
they all seem happy to me. And I'm wondering if like every group of stable friends has like an art friend that they're like, they that's like the one that does the cool interesting stuff, but they also offer support to that one because they need it. Like there's like they both sides benefit, like have a thing that the other like admires, if you will, you know
That is possible. Uh, in my case, most of my people are art based in some way.
mm,
A lot of them are single. I have a group of 3 friends, 4 of us together, we have a crew, and, we talk to each other a lot and check in with each other, so we know when we're not doing okay and we know when we're doing okay, but we all, um, even if we have, like, practical jobs, we all have a large part of us that is in in a creative space in some way or appreciates a creative space in some way.
mm,
Um, and so we're in tune to each other. Um, and they are also experiencing ups and downs. We all are, luckily. We all are. So we just take turns like rah, 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 and then it goes to the next one and they're like blah, 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 blah. We talk that through. Um, and then I have probably my best friend who has definitely gone through some very tough times and she is crawling out the other end of it.
oh yeah,
And she is fully just like an artist. That
mm,
is what she is. And so, but then, other friends who seem like they have the trappings that you're supposed to have, I mean, they seem to be okay, right? But then no one
yeah,
puts the sad stuff on the social media until it is at a point that they need to let
yeah,
everyone know of some sort of change.
yeah,
Ain't no, no one's crying out here on IG unless they need, you know what I mean? Like no one I none of my people are.
right, right. Because like if like an artist is doing that, like we're gonna make an album, or like
Right. Yeah.
you
How do
know,
you yes. But yeah, and that's yeah, I guess that's the thing is that I am probably and consider this because this certainly plays into it and you got to own up to this part of it. I am probably too self-absorbed to notice
mm,
if anyone is not doing well until they say a thing.
yeah,
So I try to just be quiet and wait for someone to say something.
Mm.
Um, but then that also means that I won't say anything because I'm, trying to be present for what they're doing, even though in my head I'm mulling over my stuff, and then I gotta turn that off to listen to them, and then think about their stuff, and then I forget to go back to my stuff when I'm considering their, it's a lot. It so many compartments. Your brain, a lot of compartments in there. You got to shove things in and take them out at the right time, or else you get something that's like overdue, and you're like, oh no, it's a lot.
What we're saying is we don't got answers on this
We
podcast.
do not. We don't have answers. And that's I want to say that's fine. No one really does. But sometimes, you know what I would like? An answer.
Word.
I would love an answer.
Yo, just a little layup every now and then. Be
Yeah,
cool. You know?
understanding is fine, grace is lovely, but I would love an answer.
Yo, let's mix it in, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. It can't all be carbs, you know?
Yeah,
You got to have
that's
some
right. If you can throw me an answer, that's great. That would definitely increase my metabolism, and then I have the drive to go after that answer. But
let's get into the news.
yeah, let's see what they have to offer us today.
There you go. Disney World will give workers a stipend after taking away one of their biggest perks. Um, Facing a backlash from Walt Disney World's governing district, will pay a stipend to employees whose free passes and discounts to the theme park resort were eliminated under a policy made by a new district administrator and board members who are allies of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The stipend will be $3,000 a year, which is around the equivalent value of the theme park passes, according to Glenn Gilzian, the district admin of the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. That's who told the board members during a meeting on Wednesday. The board then unanimously approved it. Board members said they had taken to heart the criticism of employees who said the free passes gave them lasting memories with their families and allowed relatives to see the fruits of their work. Without the free passes, the parks would be unaffordable, said many of the employees. We heard you and we have worked to respond accordingly, said board member Ron Perry. The employees had enjoyed the perk for decades when Disney controlled the governing district. The district was taken over by DeSantis and the Florida legislator earlier this year in retaliation to Disney's opposition last year to a state law critics were calling the Don't Say Gay ban, which bans classroom lessons on sexual orientation and gender identity in the early grades. Formerly known
Hmm.
as the Reedy Creek Improvement District, the now renamed Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. Terrible name.
Oh, that's horrible. See, that's
Jesus.
why. Ugh.
That's why Disney should have stayed in charge. They were at least good with like catch. They knew marketing, you
You know
know.
what I mean? They're creatives. They had a couple of creatives in there.
uh, it provides municipal services like mosquito control, drainage, and wastewater treatment. All things that apparently Disney struggled with. I never remember hearing that problem, Dana. Uh,
No, not at all. That's just because whatever it was before, the Reedy Creek or whatever, they took care of it.
yeah,
Please believe Disney had enough money to take care of everything.
real
More than
yo,
the government.
real talk has. I don't. I'm thinking about that now. I spent hours in different Disney parks. I don't remember feeling a mosquito.
Yeah. No, no, no. They probably literally signed like a charter, like some sort of they signed something with mosquitoes where they're like, "You don't come in here
Real talk.
and we will supply you with I don't know, 4 or 5 pints of blood quarterly, and
Real
y'all
talk.
do
Rest
with
of
that what
Florida,
you will."
yours.
Yeah, but don't especially in Florida, which is mostly swamp.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's impressive. So like clearly it wasn't a problem. Like they
Mhm.
solved it somehow down there. The arrangement was self-serving to the company because it funneled money back to Disney, with the district footing the bill, according to board members. Outside experts, though, have likened the it more to an employee benefit rather than a taxpayer scam, similar to the way professors at universities may get free passes to athletic events or free tuition for family members.
You know
Uh,
what? What I worked at Toys R Us for a day and a half,
okay.
and maybe 2.5 days. I'm trying to remember, but it was not long. It feels like it was just 2 days. Um, and I went through. I got hired. I'm like, great, fantastic. They gave me the Toys R Us polo, and then said they would take that out of my check, the
Whoa.
price of the polo. They would take out of the check, and I was like, I mean, okay. Can't we just have like lanyards? Why do we need to? Okay, whatever. And then as we're going through the trading process, I learned that there's no discount.
Whoa.
There was no Toys R Us discount for anyone. You just paid full price. And I went out there and I rung up a few people and then came back the next day and went to ring up people and then went on my lunch break and I threw my shit in reverse and just left. And I'm like, that should be enough to pay for this shirt. Like,
Real
get out of
talk.
here. No discount?
That's
No
madness.
discount. And that's how I feel about this. You want people to work at Disney, and you took away the free passes?
Yeah.
That's insane. At Disney, because it's not just like you can't Disney is not Six Flags. Okay? So you can't have a Six Flags attitude at Disney.
Right.
You gotta pretend you are in a completely different world, a world where there's no suffering at all,
Word.
and you gotta police people who are suffering and make their suffering not noticeable to the crowds of people. Right? You gotta do
Yeah.
that. You gotta make agreements with mosquitoes. You gotta keep little kids from crawling into lagoons and being eaten by it. Like, there's so much, and you gotta do that with a smile on your face and as you're pretending, you know what I mean? Like, as you're pretending to be part of this world.
Word.
And then they're like, "You can't come here for free no more?" I wish a motherfucker would. I don't think that $3,000 is gonna be enough, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, give them that stipend, but that's not even counting, like, hotels and all that kinda shit. $3,000 is not, unless that's just for the one employee,
Yeah.
perhaps. But
I'm blown away that they made this call. I'm well, not part of me. I understand exactly why they made this call. I just think it's a
mhm.
dumb decision. Um, yeah, like those are the biggest advocates for
Yeah.
Disney are the people that work there. They're so fanatical about the job and the
Yep.
world that they create that they share that, and that's how you get all the biggest posts, in my opinion, on social media. I think every time I've gone to Disney, it's been because someone that worked there like raved about it so much to
Mhm.
someone that like loves me or is around me that I was like, all right, let's go. Um, like,
Right.
we gotta do this. Like, literally as a 14-year-old, I went because someone spoke so highly of it to my mom,
Mm.
and I'm like, "Mom, this sounds great, but her kids are 8. Like, I don't wanna go to Disney now." Like, I was in that pocket where, like, it was
Right.
I'm too cool for this. But,
Right.
yo, there's pictures of me at Disney wearing oversized Penny Hardaway jerseys so that my mom can have this time, you know? And
Oh
I'm
my
over there
gosh.
ice grilling it up in Disney. But yeah, like that's something that someone that like really was so impassioned about like her experience working there and bringing her fam there, raved about it to my mom. I was like, yeah, I gotta go. Um, and the same thing now when I went with my kids. Like it was because people from Florida that know Gabby raved about the experience, and I was like, all right, yeah, I can't let my kids age out of this and have the same experience I had. So
Right,
we
yeah,
went. You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Let's do it while they will fully love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I get it, but like you take that away, like you go to Disney, you just have bitter people smoking cigarettes inside. Like, yeah, ride that shit,
exactly.
you
Like, do
know?
we really want, no offense, Six Flags, but do we really want Six Flags people working at Disney? That
Real
changes
talk.
everything. The
Yeah, the
movies are
whole
gonna be
brand is very
different. Like,
different.
yeah, it's totally different.
Real talk. I got it as a fan of Six Flags. I like Six Flags energy, when
Right.
I'm going to Six Flags.
Right, exactly. That's what I wanted.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I
absolutely.
want that.
Talk shit to me because I know I'm at Six Flags. Don't
Yeah,
do that at Disney. I pay Disney money. I need you to honestly believe you are Snow White.
real talk.
You
Like,
understand? I
yeah, I
paid
paid
all that
for
money. Bitch, you Mickey. That's how that goes.
that.
All the
I
money I
want to know that
paid?
you believe it, not just me.
Yeah, not just me. You need to convince me that you so yeah.
In other news, Newsom signs California law raising food workers' minimum wage to $20 per hour. That's what's
That's
up.
not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. You out there
Y'all
right
never
now, you
seen
know.
such a heartfelt and quick response.
No, it's not. It's not. They out there shredding all that damn lettuce. It's not enough.
Oh
It's
man,
not
that
an
was awesome.
it's truly not enough.
Governor California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill Thursday to raise fast food workers' minimum wage to $20 per hour, giving the state's fast food workers one of the highest minimum wages in the country. The law, which will take effect in April, comes after a major push from California's food workers and labor unions who held numerous strikes in recent months over the wages and working conditions. the the bill signing on Thursday is pointed to 557,000 people in 30,000 locations that will be impacted by the bill. 80% of the workforce in these fast food places are people of color. 2/3 are women, and the majority are breadwinners. And they're majority breadwinners in their home. So yeah, currently the minimum wage is $15.50, and it got bumped up to $16 on January 2021 nationwide. Pardon me, California's current minimum wage, which for most jobs in the state was 15.50, was bumped up to 16 in January 1st, 2021.
Okay. Yeah. That's You know what I mean? Just cuz it's a lot. It's so much.
Yeah,
Oh, Lord.
it's
Working
work.
fast food is so much. And I try to be as nice as possible to the fast food people because, I worked at a Wendy's for 2 weeks. This is now just me talking about the jobs that I barely made it in. But I worked in a Wendy's for 2 weeks. And, I mean, I would still go to that Wendy's,
Yeah,
because I'm like, "They're clean in there." But like, it was wild. It was wild. And people talk to you crazy. And I was there during lunch. I wasn't even there when kids were, like, there at night or whatever. Yikes, you
yo,
know? Um and I was in a McDonald's last week. Don't
okay,
judge, but it happens. And they have like the kiosks now where you can order the food and then they give you a receipt and you go pick it up and you don't have to talk to anybody.
yeah,
One of those kiosks were down, so there was just like all these NYU students around the remaining two kiosks, just like, "Oh, there's a line, nigga!" But you could also still order at the counter, and I was like,
hmm
"Fuck it, I guess I'll talk to a person." And I went up there and I said, "Can I order here?" And she said, "Yeah, sure. What do you want?" And I gave her my order, and she said, "Okay, here's the total. You can use your card to pay whatever." And I tapped my card, but it still required her to push a button on their little flat screen to make all of that go through to make the receipt come up
okay,
with my number on it. But she did that. She said, tap there. And then she just went to the back. And I didn't see her for a couple of minutes. And in fast food time, that's a long time. But I
yeah,
what I also noticed is that there were two men there fixing their ice cream machine. And I
as
think she was
always.
like a manager. And so she's talking to like the back of house manager about, and I'm like, yo, they got a lot going on. She's having to deal with something in that little office back there. And they got two people working on these ice cream machines. I'm just going to stand here and be as patient as I could,
Yo,
because that's a lot. In
yeah.
McDonald's, the ice cream dude is there to fix the machine? Come on. That's wild.
Yeah.
He only comes once every 3 years. And so then she came back to the front. She was like, I am sorry. And she pushed whatever button and the receipt came out and it was a number that they had been calling over on the other side for a minute. And I went over and I just took my food and left. And imagine if I was almost anybody else in there who was just like, "Where's my get my thing?" Rah,
Yeah.
rah, rah. And I'm like, "Hey man, look at this. They are not making 20 an hour yet, and the ice cream machine dude is here. Like, afford him some grace."
I I am blown away whenever I go to any place that is not paying its employees at least 2 meals worth of like
Mm,
money an hour. Like for example, if you work at McDonald's, the Big Mac combos gotta be like 9.50 already. Like, like
mhm.
if I can't afford to take me and my homie out every hour, that's wild to me. Like I gotta work
Yeah.
here 8 hours to pay for 4 meals.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, the math of it is bananas to me. So like
Yes.
same thing with like if you work at a Five Guys, you should be a millionaire to me. Like they charge like
Like, yeah,
$35
for
per
real.
combo,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Like,
And then you telling me you paying them dudes $15 an hour, but I'm paying 15 for the burger. Like,
right?
bro, that don't math.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Mm-mm.
not, I mean, there are Waffle House employees on strike now because they'd
Good.
like to get paid $25 an hour for what they do.
Hell yeah.
And I've seen online people are just like, they want $25 to flip a waffle. That's too much. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you don't flip a waffle. There's a waffle iron. You take it out of the thing and you put it. You don't even know how this works. Secondly, have you been to Waffle House? That is
Mhm.
not the only thing they're doing.
At all. At
Which
all.
they are taking your orders, they're cleaning the place, they're cooking, they're doing crowd control.
Yeah.
They some of
Security,
yeah,
cleaning
security,
bathrooms, they
like,
janitors now.
yeah, they are doing so much. Give them that fucking and
Listen,
you know you're not tipping correctly because a waffle is only although a waffle might be up to like $5 for one waffle now.
okay.
It may be like $5 or $6, but I mean, in my day, it was like a $2.30, thing is a waffle. I'm sure it's much more now, but you're not going in there like preparing to make it rain, so you're probably not tipping them well. So let
Listen.
them make that 25
Get
an
they
hour.
bread, yo. I know this. I have been blessed to be on the road a lot as a comic,
Mhm.
and I cannot tell you how often I've seen someone burn themselves making one waffle
Mm.
at a hotel. One waffle
Okay.
by
Oh,
themselves,
yeah, right, at the
like one
yeah,
at a time at the hotel, and not only making one waffle at a time, but being in line to make the waffle. So they saw 5 people make the waffle correctly. There's
right.
signage. Like
Mhm.
there's so many ways to like learn how to make the waffle, and they get hurt making the waffle. Let alone the people that don't make waffles correctly. On top of that,
Right.
like I see spilt waffle syrup all over the
Mhm.
place. The mix is all over. It's the
Mhm.
toughest managed section of that hotel every time I go there, and they
Right.
are one at a time. And these people are making everybody's waffles back there, yo.
Right? They
Pay
just
them all the
flip, flip,
bread.
flip. They got 4 irons working all the time and just getting them out to the man, give them their money.
Real talk. They magicians back there, yo.
They
Let
really
them live.
are.
If you would like
Mm.
waffles shipped to your house, you're out of your mind. We can't do that.
No,
Amelia,
there's no
there's
way.
a limit.
I'm gonna eat half our supply. You don't want that. You don't want no waffle fiend trying to sell you waffles. I thought we all saw Friday. It's never gonna work. It's never gonna work.
But please like and subscribe to the show. You know, if you are an Apple and Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You're angry that you're not getting these waffles that we almost promised you. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
5 stars. You're surprised at this first, admittedly first time realistic pitch by Gastor. You know, I'm starting to learn.
He's full of surprises, everybody.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo, at Gastor Almonte. Shout out to sweet to Lori McDaniel. Always appreciate you. With all that said, I am gonna enjoy a stack of waffles now. Gastor Almonte. I should. I'm actually out here. I haven't done Roscoe's yet. I gotta do
Oh, yeah,
Roscoe's.
yeah, you probably should do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I gotta make that happen with the diner waffle expert, Shalewa Sharpe.
I did spend my prom night there. We won't go into it. It was just I like Waffle House.
This has been a specifically for 3 a.m. food connoisseurs episode of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.